Hadirnya UT memastikan bahwa setiap warga bangsa berhak atas pendidikan tinggi di bawah kekuatan hukum tanpa adanya perbedaan. Lebih dari 2 juta lulusan berhasil menyelesaikan studi di Universitas Terbuka. Kami bangga sudah 4 dasawarsa UT menghadirkan pendidikan berkualitas tanpa batas.
UT selalu berfokus ke masa depan dengan tetap berpijak pada nilai-nilai dan budaya adiluhung Nusantara. Digitalisasi layanan pendidikan mempermudah masyarakat dan mahasiswa mendapatkan informasi mengenai UT. Selain tercetak, bahan ajar juga diberikan dalam bentuk digital guna memudahkan mobilitas mahasiswa. Dengan demikian, belajar bisa dilakukan di mana saja, kapan saja, dan bersama siapa saja. Digitalisasi pendidikan juga diformulasikan ke dalam loka pasar digital mata kuliah yang ditawarkan oleh Indonesia Cyber Education Institute atau ICE Institute. Beragam mata kuliah dari perguruan tinggi terkemuka di tanah air dan mancanegara ditawarkan secara online. Perpustakaan UT sebagai salah satu unit vital di perguruan tinggi menawarkan fasilitas digital yang memungkinkan mahasiswa, dosen, tenaga kependidikan, bahkan masyarakat umum untuk mengakses sumber pustaka secara lebih leluasa. Beragam layanan yang diberikan memastikan student engagement dapat dilaksanakan dengan better, cheaper, and faster. UT pada tahun ini mengedepankan internasionalisasi program sebagai upaya menyejajarkan UT dengan perguruan tinggi jarak jauh berkualitas di dunia. Selain menawarkan program internasional, akreditasi internasional pun dilakukan. International Trust yang tinggi akan meningkatkan kredibilitas UT dan lulusannya. Public trust terhadap UT ditandai dengan terus meningkatnya jumlah mahasiswa UT dari tahun ke tahun.
Semoga keluar dari sini makin berkah hidupnya, apa yang diinginkan tercapai, dan yang pasti ilmunya bisa bermanfaat buat semuanya.
Tidak saja jumlahnya yang meningkat, komposisi mahasiswa pada saat ini didominasi oleh generasi milenial dan Gen Z. Untuk menjaga kualitas akademik, UT melibatkan BAN PT, Lembaga Akreditasi Mandiri, dan International Accreditation Bodies. Bahkan UT satu-satunya perguruan tinggi jarak jauh di Asia yang secara sukarela dan berkala mengundang ICDE untuk mereview semua layanan di UT. Kita ingin memastikan bahwa layanan yang diberikan telah memenuhi kaidah-kaidah dan standar kualitas yang diberikan oleh perguruan tinggi jarak jauh terkemuka di dunia. Pada tahun ini, jumlah program studi yang ditawarkan berjumlah 47 yang dikelola 4 fakultas dan sekolah pasca sarjana. Kantor UT daerah yang tersebar di seluruh wilayah Indonesia dan di luar negeri memastikan layanan pendidikan dapat dinikmati oleh semua tanpa terkecuali, termasuk mereka yang tinggal di wilayah terpencil, terluar, dan tertinggal, serta di luar negeri.
Mungkin harus menunggu puluhan tahun atau ratusan tahun untuk membangun kampus di tempat ini. Puji Tuhan, dengan adanya UT, Saya bisa kuliah meskipun saya tinggal di tempat yang amat terpencil seperti ini.
Tanah airku tidak kulupakan, kan terkenang selama hidupku. Biarpun saya pergi jauh, tidak akan hilang dari kalbu.
Meskipun saya TKI di Hongkong, saya tetap bisa kuliah di UT. Setelah jadi sarjana, saya akan pulang dan menjadi entrepreneur yang tangguh.
Meskipun kaki ini jauh melangkah hingga kutub utara, saya tetap memilih belajar di kampus tercinta Universitas Terbuka.
UT menyalawi.
Dengan semangat 4 dasawarsa, UT hadirkan pendidikan berkualitas tanpa batas.
Engkau ku banggakan.
Ternyata kuliah di UT bisa sambil belajar di universitas luar negeri. Yes, lewat ICE Institute, kamu bisa ambil kuliah online di berbagai universitas top di Indonesia dan di dunia tanpa meninggalkan kampus asal. Bayangin, kamu bisa ambil mata kuliah dari jurusan yang berbeda, dari mana aja dan kapan aja, sambil memperluas jaringan akademis dan profesional. Yang lebih keren lagi, mata kuliah yang kamu ambil bakal diakui di kampus asal.
Awalnya, aku sempat ragu untuk ikutan program ICE Institute ini. Tapi setelah aku coba, ternyata sistemnya keren banget. Mata kuliah yang aku ambil juga nggak cuma relevan dengan jurusan aku aja, tapi juga diakui oleh kampus asal. Jadi nggak pusing kehilangan SKS atau waktu kuliah. Proses validasinya juga gampang banget, tinggal koordinasi langsung beres deh.
Aku sempat mikir bakal ribet ngambil kuliah online dari universitas lain. Tapi ternyata platform ICE Institute ini super gampang dipakai. Pilihan mata kuliahnya banyak banget. Awalnya takut ngurus izin ke kampus bakal ribet. Tapi ternyata gampang banget. Prosedurnya jelas dan nggak berbelit-belit. Jadi nggak ada alasan buat nggak coba.
Dulu mikirnya, kuliah online di universitas lain pasti ribet banget deh. Belum ngurus izinnya, prosedurnya susah enggak, pilihannya ada gak ya? Tapi setelah lewat ICE Institute semuanya dimudahin banget. Proses izinnya juga ternyata gampang banget loh. Gak ada drama-drama, prosedurnya jelas dan dijelasin step by step. Apalagi pas masuk ke platformnya. Wow, udah beneran user friendly banget loh. Mata kuliahnya juga banyak banget pilihannya.
Karena ICE Institute itu full online, kalian bisa akses materi kapan aja, di mana aja. Mau belajar dari rumah, coffee shop, atau sambil liburan, semuanya bisa. Fleksibel banget kan? Selain itu, ICE Institute juga memiliki fitur-fitur yang menarik yang ngebuat belajar jadi semakin semangat. Mulai dari pembelajaran video yang gak ngebosenin, forum diskusi yang super helpful, sampai ada ujian online-nya loh. Semuanya bisa kamu akses melalui laptop dan handphone. Setelah lulus kuliah, kamu pasti ingin mendapatkan pekerjaan yang sesuai minat dan skill kan? Di ICE Institute, kamu bisa kembangkan minat dengan mengambil mata kuliah di luar fakultas utama, sehingga kamu lebih siap memasuki dunia pekerjaan yang semakin kompetitif.
Jadi, aku baru aja selesai ambil mata kuliah di ICE Institute. Dan gak cuma dapat ilmu baru, tapi juga sertifikat yang beneran kepake. Pas apply kerja di bidang yang aku pengen banget, sertifikat ini jadi nilai tambah yang bikin CV aku jadi stand out. Di interview, aku juga sempat ditanya terkait skill yang aku dapat di ICE Institute. Dan itu benar-benar relevan sama kebutuhan perusahaan. Kebayangkan, sekarang kamu punya kontrol lebih banyak untuk masa depanmu sendiri.
Manfaatin kesempatan belajar di ICE Institute dan siap-siap menyambut dunia belajar yang lebih fleksibel dan lebih luas.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us at the 34th Cyber Education Forum, proudly hosted by the Indonesia Cyber Education Institute. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. And a very good morning to you all. It's a real pleasure to have you with us today. I would like to extend a warm greeting to Ibu Dr. Anda Rahayu Dwi Rianti MA as Director of Institute. Halo Ibu, good morning. And then Ibu Dr. Vivi Indra Amelia Nasution SIP MA as Manager of Partnership and Certification of ICE Institute. Good morning Ibu Vivi. And also our distinguished speakers. First is Miss Ivy Shi, founder of Learnmonade Hong Kong. Hello, Miss Ivy. Nice to meet you. And also our distinguished speaker, Professor Ricardus Eko Indrajit, Rector of Pradita University. Thank you for joining us, Prof.
Good
Eko.
morning, Ami.
Hi. How are you, Prof. Eko?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. All right. And also all distinguished guests and participants joining us at the 34th Cyber Education Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ami Hibatul Jamil, the moderator of today's seminar. I'm delighted to welcome all of you to the 34th Cyber Education Forum entitled Boundless Collaboration, Effective Strategies for Collaborative Virtual Learning. As teaching and learning increasingly shift to digital spaces, collaboration becomes not just a skill, but a necessity. Whether we are co-creating content across institutions or engaging students in real-time group tasks from different parts of the world, the ability to work together virtually has become essential. In today's session, we will explore forward-looking strategies to enhance virtual teamwork and collaborative learning. We are joined by incredible speakers from Hong Kong and Indonesia who bring deep expertise in instructional design, AI integration, and also digital transformation. And then now it is my pleasure to invite Ibu Dr. Vivi Indra Amelia Nasution SIPMA as our Manager of Partnership and Certification from ICE Institute to officially welcome us all. But before that, we would like to play a video of ICE Institute.
Indonesia membutuhkan 17 juta talenta digital di tahun 2030 untuk memenuhi kebutuhan industri yang terus berkembang pesat ke arah transformasi digital. Transformasi ini sedang terjadi sekarang, dan dunia kerja semakin banyak membutuhkan talenta digital. Pertanyaannya, apakah kamu siap menghadapi perubahan ini? Jangan sampai ketinggalan dan kalah dalam persaingan. Untungnya ada ICE Institute, sebuah one-stop solution platform yang hadir untuk membantu kamu mengembangkan skill pada bidang yang kamu jalani sekarang atau menambah skill digital di bidang yang sedang populer. Sehingga kamu bisa terus bersaing di dunia kerja yang semakin kompetitif dan lebih siap menghadapi tantangan just transition dan transformasi digital. ICE Institute punya segudang manfaat untuk kamu. Yang pertama, ada lebih dari 16.000 courses. Hal ini memberi kamu kesempatan untuk mengasah keterampilan yang bisa diterapkan di tempat kerja. Kedua, ada pilihan courses dari berbagai lembaga pendidikan favorit di Indonesia. Bahkan disediakan courses gratis dan berbayar. Sertifikat yang didapat dari lembaga-lembaga ini tidak hanya menambah portofolio, tapi juga membuka peluang lebih besar untuk karirmu ke depan. Ketiga, flexible learning. Jadi kamu bisa menjalankan courses yang kamu pilih, kapan saja, di mana saja. Keempat, rangkaian pembelajaran lengkap dengan assessment dan sistem sertifikasi yang diakui, membuat kamu lebih percaya diri dalam pengembangan karir. Yang kelima, ada sistem career guidance yang memberikan rekomendasi lowongan kerja sesuai dengan sertifikat yang kamu dapatkan. Fitur ini memberimu peluang besar menemukan karir yang sesuai dengan keahlian. Bersama ICE Institute, mendalami skill yang kamu punya atau belajar skill set yang baru jadi jauh lebih mudah tanpa mengganggu waktu kerja. Jadi, tunggu apa lagi? Daftarkan dirimu sekarang.
To Ibu Vivi, now you may deliver the opening remarks.
Thank you, Ami, for the warmest greeting. Okay, a wonderful morning to distinguished speakers and all. Okay. A wonderful morning to distinguished speakers and all participants. Thank you for joining us this moment. On behalf of the ICE Institute, our director, Ibu Rianti, and our founder, Prof. Paulina, and all of ICE colleagues, it's my great honor to welcome you to the 24th Cyber Education Forum, our webinar on Boundless Collaboration, Effective Strategies for Collaborative Virtual Learning. Okay, I remember Helen Keller, author and lecturer, once said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." Her timeless wisdoms capture the very essence of our theme today. In an age where technology has erased distance, our greatest opportunity lies in our ability to connect and create together. But this synergy doesn't happen by chance. It requires intention, skill, and of course, the right strategy. That's precisely what we are here to explore today. We are privileged to have two exceptional speakers to guide us. Ms. IVC, the innovative founder of Learnmonade from Hong Kong. Good morning, Ms. IVC. Thank you. And also Professor Eko Indrajit, our distinguished speaker and Rector of Pradita University from Indonesia. Selamat pagi, Prof.
Selamat pagi, Bu Vivi.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Okay, their diverse perspectives will provide us with a valuable insight into building effective and engaging virtual collaborative space. Okay, let's make this fruitful session and learning and also discovery. Thank you. Enjoy the webinar. Thank you. And Ami, I'll pass the screen to you.
Thank you very much, Ibu Vivi, for the warm and inspiring welcome. Before we proceed to the main session, we would like to invite all participants and also speakers to join us for a group photo. Everyone, please turn on your camera and put on your best smile. I would like to ask committee team to kindly prepare the screen layout. Yeah, I will count down. Okay, everyone ready for putting your best smile? All right, in 3, 2, 1. And then next slide. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. All right, next slide. In 3, 2, 1. And then the last one. In 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now heading to the main part of today's session. Before we begin, allow me to briefly explain how the presentation will run. Each of our two speakers will have approximately 20 minutes to deliver their presentation. Following that, we will open the floor for a Q&A session. For all participants, please note that Indonesian translation, you can also check via closed captioning. And then next, we move on to our first speaker. Our first speaker today is Ms. Ivy Shi, a senior instructional designer and the founder of Learnmonade Limited, an edtech company based in Hong Kong. With her extensive experience in designing, engaging, and impactful learning experiences, she has worked closely with UNESCO-ICEI, where she developed 2 micro-certification programs on AI literacy for higher education teachers, programs that have now been translated into 5 languages and taken by over 400 educators globally. In addition, she is a certified trainer for China's National AI Prompt Engineering Certification and the creator of an AI curriculum for teacher training at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Ms. Shi has also led AI workshops across top institutions, including the University of Hong Kong, Lingnan University, HKUST, Shenzhen University, and Beijing Normal University. Today, she will share her insights on strategies to foster collaborative virtual learning in the AI era. Please join me in welcoming Miss Ivy Shi. Hi, Miss Ivy Shi.
Hi, Amy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very honored to speak in today's session. So
We
let me
also
share
very
my.
humbled to listen to your speech right now, the keynote speech. All right, Miss Ivy, you have 20 minutes to present your material, and now the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. Let me share my presentation. So today's topic is about co-design engaging courses with generative AI. Ami has done a better introduction than myself, so I'll skip this part. Now, at Learnmonade, I'm the founder, and we've been working on developing online courses for universities, for companies, and as well as we're very passionate about educating teachers how to leverage AI tools for their classes. Because we do notice there are lots of theories and guidelines on whether teachers should use AI, but there are not enough workshops on directly like how to use certain tools in which scenarios. So that's what we focus on. And if you go to our website, you can also find more AI tutorials. And as Ami mentioned before, we work with UNESCO and we have 2 micro-certification courses. So if you go to IOE website, you can find these 2 programs. The first one is about how to use interactive tools to make your lessons pop, including interaction, engagement, and making presentations. The second one is more advanced course. It's about how to use digital avatars for online videos and also storytelling videos using Canva. So feel free to sign up. It's for free. So I want to start with the pain points. What are the pain points of online education or even face-to-face education? So the first one is class engagement. Especially for online courses, we cannot see whether students are paying attention or not. They're hiding behind their desktop cameras. So sometimes students might be bored and drifting away. The second is online interaction. Usually the format is, I would say, watching videos or watching a presenter, and the audience is usually like having most of the time passive learning, and so there is limited online interaction. The third one is, if you look at the picture here, it's very typical presentation where there are lots of bullet points and text-heavy slides. So then how to make compelling presentations, that's also another key area to focus on. So let's see how to tackle each area using AI tools. The first one, how to stop students drifting away. We could have a live conversation with them and collect data so we know what they're thinking. So there's 3 levels of feedback. The most traditional one is pure lecture. There is no feedback. And the second one is, we have Q&A session. With students, they're quite shy or they maybe don't want to ask questions. So usually one student may be asked at a time and the rest of the class are not paying attention. And the third level, which I want to introduce to you, is Mentimeter. So then you require all participation from all students, no matter it's 50 or 200 students. Then you have a real-time feedback. I'll do a live demonstration as well. So this is the tool. Now you can see I can ask questions, and with the AI function, it can group the responses into different themes. And then you can click into each one to see their responses. And I will show you what the website looks like. So here is Mentimeter. At the presentation screen, students can join using a code, or they can join use their phone to scan a QR code. For each question, they have different choices. So I can see how many people chose, for example, number 1, number 2, to see what's the majority of their opinions. And next slide. We can also have word cloud. So like words that are repeated most will show up in the center. So you can see what students are thinking about this question. And here is the automatically summarized themes. And I can click on it to see what specific answers they have. And this tool has many different types of questions. Whenever I use it in a workshop, people are very engaged, and we can see a lot of engagement here. This is the first tool. And the second one, for passive students. This one is interesting because with the limitation of being online, we don't know how students can collaborate together, or how do we show them visually how to interact with the course materials. Now, actually, there are tools that can help you to facilitate active collaborative learning, brainstorming, problem solving. So this is the second tool I want to show you is Miro, Miro.com. So Miro is basically a whiteboard you can set up with different canvas, and also students can work in groups. They can add their sticky notes. So if you have a task, you can see the students are working together, and with each cursor, you can actually see who is working on what. So this is a very live and visual way for you to engage with the students, and they can work in groups. So now let's see a good demo. For example, this is my course board for the first micro certification program. Okay, so I set up a course learning path. You can see how you go from 0 to finish by having the introduction, module 1, module 2, module 3. I also put the main learning points under each section. And here is a poster, also my anchor chart for the whole course. So you can see I can add text, different images, links. So here's a visual way to summarize the useful tools and tips for this class. So I can share this link with students and they can all work on it. Here is my discussion board and voting board. What would you like to learn about AI? Vote each one. So here you can see students can move these stars to different areas. So I can see, okay, what's the most popular opinion here? And they can use stickers to tell me what they want to learn. Oh, another thing to mention is you can have mind maps as well. So they also have the AI tools. If students don't know where to start, they can use the AI function to generate a mind map to start with. So a mind map is really good for a visual organizer to help students to capture, especially if an online course is quite long, like 8 weeks long, they might get forgetful about certain parts. So this is a way to show them an overview of the course. Okay, and on Miro, you can set up different boards. Here, for example, they also have many different templates. Here, for example, I created a quick retrospective board. And students can add sticky notes here. For example, what we should continue, what should we stop doing, how can we do things differently, what should we do next. So you can set up different things here. Also add stickers to really add some fun to the class. So here, for example, you can see the different tools. I can add a sticky note. You can assign different groups with different colors so you can work on it. Here is an example. Also, if you see here, Miro AI, this is the AI feature. So I can create different documents, or I can have it rewrite for clarity, shorten text, or fix grammar spelling. There are many different tools, and I can generate ideas of solutions or get feedback. So this is really helpful, and it's an interactive way. While they're working on it, they can also use AI to help them to generate ideas or different things. Now, the next part. So as a summary for the first two tools, in an online class, we have different ways to engage students, like adding polls, quizzes, discussions, and also use Miro for collaboration. So these are the 5 different areas we can make the courses more engaging. The third one, also our last point of this workshop, is how do we transform these boring presentations to more interesting ones? There are 2 areas. The first one is to add more images. So here are 5 different tools. You can see I have the same prompts, and it's 5 different tools have different results. So the Canva, Leonardo, Firefly, Copilot, they are for free. Midjourney needs subscription. So for teachers, you can try Copilot, Canva, Firefly, and see which one suits your style the most. Here's another example of a Van Gogh style landscape. You can see, I think I like Canva and Leonardo quite a lot here. And the third one is about a portrait photo. And you can see how it portrays different styles here. So I want to highly recommend Canva to everybody. It's very easy. It has lots of templates for presentations, worksheets. So you can really leverage those. And in Magic Studio, you can create images as well. Okay. The second thing is, how do we visualize bullet points? And that's a difficult one to do because AI not necessarily understands the relationship between your points or make a chart like you want. So there's another different tool for that. Have anyone heard about napkin.ai? So this tool is really helpful. I see, agreed. Especially if you have lots of points. So here you can see if I copy and paste my text here, it will generate different charts. So it actually understands the content quite well, more than ChatGPT or Grok or DeepSeek in terms of visualizing a chart. So let's see a live demo here. For example, I have AI tools for research. And once I paste it here on my canvas, I can see this is a chart it generates. So here's a magic lightning bulb icon. If I click on it, you will see it's working as magic and adding different diagrams here. Also, this tool is completely free. Okay, here we can see the first chart. I can also have cards. Once I select one, let's say this one, I can also choose different colors, different styles. Let's say I choose this one. And I can further edit it by adding more text. Or I can add a comment so I can collaborate with others. And I can also change the colors further. Once it's done, you can just click download. And here, if you want, you can get like a bigger picture. So I download it as a PNG, or I can copy it to clipboard. So now it's downloaded. I can open it here. Then you can just import it to your slides. So this is a really helpful tool. If you have more, for example, you have one presentation, you can copy and paste relevant text here on one napkin board. So you have this saved all the time. So this is napkin. So with these tools, I'm pretty sure your presentation will look a lot better. And let's go to the next one. And for people who are interested to learn more, you can go to IIOE.org and then find our courses there. For example, I can show you quickly. So here, if you click Learn, you can go to micro certification programs. And here, you'll be able to find our courses. There are many free ones here. So this one is the video avatar course. And you can find the other one also here. So you can just sign up. After you sign up, you can go, and once you finish, you will get a certificate of completion. Based on the feedback, around more than 90% of the students found the program really practical and helpful. So I highly recommend you to register. So that's today's presentation. Hope it's been helpful for you. This is my contact. If you have any questions, feel free to send an email to me. And thanks everybody for your listening. And back to Ami.
Thank you so much, Miss Ivy, for the enlightening presentation that was full of practical takeaways. And we just explored Mentimeter, Miro, Canva, also Napkin AI. And also, I think I would like to take your courses in IIOE as well. So thank you so much. All right, so Miss Ivy, kindly hold on for a moment. We will first invite our next speaker to present before we move on to the audience Q&A session. All right. For participants, if you have any questions or thoughts during the session, feel free to type them in the chat box. Then the committee will later select 3 questions to be addressed during the Q&A session. All right, so next it is my great pleasure to welcome Professor Dr. Insinyur Ricardus Eko Indrajit, Rector of Pradita University. Thank you, Prof. Eko. This is the second time you become the speaker after the third CEF in 2021, yeah, Prof. Eko.
Yeah, thank you, Amy.
Wow, so glad to have you here again as a speaker. First, I would like to introduce Prof. Eko. So, Professor Dr. Insinyur Ricardus Eko Indrajit, M.Sc, MBA, M.Phil, MA, a distinguished leader in education and digital transformation, who currently serves as the Rector of Pradita University and also Chair of the National Teachers Union or PGRI. He has extraordinary academic background that includes more than 10 master's and doctoral degrees from renowned institutions such as Harvard University, the University of the City of Manila, and Universitas Negeri Jakarta. Prof. Eko's extensive experience spans education policy, IT consulting, and national accreditation, making him one of the most influential voices in Indonesia's education landscape. Today, he will share his strategic insights on fostering impactful and collaborative virtual learning. Prof. Eko, we are excited to hear your insights, and now the screen is yours. You have 20 minutes to present the material.
20 or 30? 20.
20. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Amy. So, a very good morning to all of you. This is a great pleasure for me to be sharing with you regarding the boundless collaboration by using the collaborative virtual learning. I will take two perspectives from my behalf. The first one, as a researcher, I'm now with my other friends conducting a research in the collaborative virtual learning with the ICE Institute. And the second one, I want to share based on my personal experience in becoming students in many virtual learning initiative, you name it. I'm a student of EDX, of Coursera, of the people Future Learn, of the Open to Study, of the Swetang X, and I just finished last year my sixth master degree with the University of the People. I want to share with you all of my experience to become students that participate in various collaborative virtual learning initiative. So until now, I have completed more than 600 certificates for the MOOC, and now is the result of the sharing experience. As we know that the collaborative virtual learning matters this era. Why? Because we know that everything is going digital, including education. And education is shifting from the physical to virtual environment significantly. It means because we are on the virtual environments, so the collaboration is really the backbone of effective online learning. But we know from the previous speakers the problem of the collaboration, like engagement of the students, and then the focus of the students, and then the challenge whether the students are active or not. So today's presentation, I would like to explore some evidence-based strategies for seamless and impactful collaboration within a virtual settings. Okay, I will use four of the virtual education platform from the common LMS to the MOOC, because I finished my Stanford online, and also from the Open University UK, University of the People, and then the Korean MOOC. So every instructional designers, they will select what type of pedagogy that is appropriate for the objective of the courses. For example, Stanford Online like to use peer forums with rotating. It means that if you are a student of the Stanford Online, they will have a mechanism to group you in the different ways, and then we have to have an intensive discussion in the forums. And in each discussion, we have to give some kind of feedback, evaluation, and also grades to the other participant in the forums. The more active you are in the forum, the more thoughtful and critical you are in the forum, you will have a better grade. In the Open University UK, they are using the collaborative reflection journals. It means that there are two ways to do it. We analyze the journals or we create a collaborative journals. So it means that several people in one group, we have to collaborate in criticizing journals and creating journals. In the University of the People, they enforce you to do what we call as the peer feedback in discussion. You have in every week of the session, you have to be participate in the discussion. You have to reply 3 thread discussion from other people or 3 comments from other people's, and you have to also have comment to 3 at least of your colleagues of other learners. In the KMU Korea, you have to have what we call as the team-based project challenge with asynchronous coordination. University of the People also do the same thing. That every courses you have to do a team-based project coordination. Now, what kind of tools that most of the people are using? For synchronous tools, they actually what they do is they let the students choose by themselves. This is good because in choosing whether we are going to use Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, or other virtual conference tools, for example, we have to discuss with other fellows. We have to discuss with other students. So it starts breaking the ice of the group that we never see each other during before the session. And for asynchronous tools, sometimes the university give you idea to use some kind of tools like Padlet, Slack, or Moodle Forms, or they will let us to choose any other tools you can find in the internet. Again, we have to agree upon what kind of tool we are going to use in our groups. And for the collaborative workspace, Google Docs, Miro, and Notion is 3 of the tools that people choose the most for the collaboration. And some of the collaboration that is based on creating some kind of project, for example, presentation, you have to do some kind of animation or other digital artifacts. We are using Trello, ClickUp, and Asana. So what is the core principle of the effective collaboration based on my experience? Number 1 is the mutual respect and trust. This is not easy. Why? Because in a short term, we have a new member of the group. We have to meet the people that we never met before. In the University of People, for example, I have to work with my other friends from South Africa, from the East Korea, for example, from the China, and also maybe my fellow from Indonesia. We never meet each other. We have to introduce ourselves using all of the communication tools that are ready. And we have to trust them as part of our group because we don't have time to build relationship because it's only 14 weeks of every program or every courses in the University of the People. The second one, what unite us is actually the clear and shared goals. This is a very important. If the course designer does not provide you with a clear and shared goals, we are in troubles because there are many assignments where the students are failing to complete because of the misperception of the shared goals. And this is the important thing where the course designer have to be able to be contacted by the group or the students, unless they will have different idea of what is called the clear and shared goals. And the third one, which is also the challenge, is the active and equitable engagement. One group consists of 5 to 7 people. The first thing you have to do is to find your groups peers, because the system only give you or only grouping you based on maybe some random type, random or other algorithms. So I have to find my other members using the tools or using the other out of the LMS features. Maybe I'm using email, I can using WhatsApp, I can using other kind of means. And how to ensure that is an equitable engagement. In every collaboration, we also have the rubrics or the metrics of evaluation where we have to evaluate our own friend. So this is good so that everybody is active, because if only 1 or 2% who are dominating or who are actively doing something, they will have a bad grade in terms of the peer reviews. And last but not least is an open and inclusive communication. So we are bound by the clear and shared goals. We want to graduate with a good grade in that particular course. So this is the core principles. From the pedagogical strategies that works in the collaborative environment, we have to come out with a very engaging features like jigsaw model, peer review, or you can use the think, pair, and share online application. So it means that we have to be equipped by engaging application, engaging tools that can make us working in one project together in a collaborative way. The more interesting the tools, the better for us, because it's not just engaging, but it is also increase our motivation to participate. Now, this is the step-by-step that thing that we have to do, the very important. The number one is starting everything with engaging as icebreakers. Icebreakers is not easy in the virtual learning communities. As I informed you before, that if we are taking one courses where other students are coming from different nations, and also we never met each other, we have to have some kind of techniques that we like to start collaborating with them. Not all people are used to collaborate virtually. The ones that not used to be collaborating virtually, what they do is actually waiting to be called, waiting to be contacted. But if you are used to the collaborative environment, you want to become the leader who taking care of the group. You want to contact the group. You want to give them motivation to do together. And also you want to make the group become a very sweet home environment. This is very important. So nobody feel offense, nobody feel threatened by somebody who are dominating the group. So weekly reflection is also very important. And sometimes the educator asks us to give the evidence that we are creating the group. Some of my teachers, they even look at the login, look at the log files to see the active roles of every person in the group. And if the educators see that we haven't done what is supposed to be done, they will give us the feedback to move forward. So how to measure that collaboration is very effective? Number one is rubrics for collaboration. So we just not grade the result of the collaboration, but also the process, the communication, the contribution of each person, and also the creativities. And we are also have the tools where we can do a self-assessment and peer evaluation. Of course, this peer evaluation, if we have to do some peer evaluation, sometimes they're enforce the unanimous, the anonymous identity. Yeah. And if you are working in the learning environment with the analytics tools, that's even better because you can track how the engagements process within the learning process. So, what is the challenge of the collaboration in the virtual world? Number one, what I see is the time zone barriers, because I was experienced one group where I have one person from the United States and one person from England, while the other are coming from the South Korea. It is very difficult to find the time where we can meet together synchronously. It's not easy. And the second is uneven internet access. Some of the features needs a big broadband, and the broadband of every participant is not the same. One's living in the city, one's living in the remote area. Sometimes the internet access becomes the problem with us. And then the unequal participation. Usually what happens is one or two persons tend to dominate the effort, the project, the collaboration initiative. So we have to make sure that this is not always happening. And the miscommunication of the shared goal, of the objective, of the instruction given by the educators through the learning management system. So if you have a time zone barriers, we have to have some kind of agreement or to find the flexible activities. And of course, if you have problem with the internet, we have to give an option to the students to use different way of interaction. If you only have this low bandwidth, use this kind of application. If you have a good bandwidth, big bandwidth, use this kind of application. So the students have the choices. Yeah, and the last one is the clear group agreements and roles. This is also important, so everybody have roles, unless there will be an unequal participation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last slide. What should we do after this? We have to build learning ecosystem that are open, adaptive, and genuine collaborative beyond the time and the space. Remember, if you are in the borderless environment, the time and space, all of the geographical area becomes irrelevant. You have to think that everybody is coming from different time zone, different nation, different cultures, and different literacy. Right now, ICE Institute starting to do some kind of research to create courses where the insight collaborative exercise was dominated. And we are in the middle of the research. It is some of the temporary result that when we give the guidance of the collaborative learning, people tend to have to say that we have a good, clearly communicated and easy to understand guidance, and it helps the students to engage in the collaborative activities. This guidance is very important because not all people are used to be learning in the collaborative virtual environment. The second one, we are asking questions about the implementation of the group tasks. And most of the respondents reported that actively applying the guidelines and contributing to the group work. It went smooth. Digital tools are used, but the digital tools can still be improved because some of the students have difficulties in using the tools. And how about the technical and non-technical barriers? We have the main barriers, which is the scheduling difficulties, because every person have their own agenda. They have own business that is very difficult for them to meet in one time using a synchronous mode to discuss. So we need some kind of facilitation and instructional supervision to handle these issues. How about the learning impact? So far, we see a positive impact on the content understanding, learning motivation, and teamwork skills. So they say that the collaborative way is more engaging because they meet each other in the virtual. This is better than just interact with a passive learning management system. And yes, they need instructor and system support 24/7. We have to have a call center that ready to answer whatever problems they are having, because not all people are used to learn in this virtual world. Overall perception, students are enjoy in the collaborative online learning because they become an active learners. So they express interest in participating more in the futures. So that is all from me. I hope it will bring some kind of benefits to all of you, especially those who wants to implement the collaborative initiative within the virtual worlds. You can use any kind of platform from the Canvas, Moodle, EDX, or other ready in the market platform with the principle of pedagogy to make the students active and to build the engaged environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Eko, for your thoughtful and experience-based presentation. So you have experience in joining some MOOCs from other universities, and this is also good practice that you shared earlier, and then you also share the result from the research. So it's a great input to us, so we can later practice for the collaborative virtual learning. Thank you, Prof. Eko. Now we will open the floor for a Q&A session. If you have any questions for our speakers, please feel free to type them in the Zoom chat, and our team will select several questions for the speakers to address. All right, so may I kindly ask the committee to display the selected questions? Let's start from the first one. This is addressed to Miss Ivy from Rido. The question is, what shouldn't be left to machines when artificial intelligence can create an automated learning route in 5 seconds? Please, Miss Ivy.
Thanks, Rito, for the question. I replied in the chat as well. So AI actually is not as innovative as teachers in terms of creating effective lessons. So what it usually does is just give you a quite traditional way, direct instruction. I talk, the students listen. So teachers are usually better at this in terms of, okay, let's explore what are the different ways and ask students to come to conclusion through experiments. So unless you give specific prompts using a certain pedagogy, AI usually just give you this most traditional way of teaching. And then when it comes to visual aids, to have different things, visual charts or different tools to help students learn. When you first ask AI, it doesn't tell you, but if you know what you want, let's say I want a mind map and you feed AI with your content, it can help you generate a good one. And then we'll check efficiency. So you watch out for the pedagogy and also what tools can help students. And the third one is, in general, they don't know how to assess different students in terms of quizzes. So when you work on the quizzes, they might not test for, the basic ones or the tricky ones. That's also where teachers can input. And there are other things we all need to focus on. in terms of like a vocabulary list if students have prior knowledge on that. So AI usually just assume like basic level. So these are the things teachers need to pay attention to. And the last thing is AI doesn't understand your subject content as well as you do. So it usually generates a learning path. Maybe it's quite boring or it's not coherent. So what I prefer to do is I give these framework, the structure, the lesson plan structure, and then ask AI to work on specific small tasks. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Miss Ivy. So we also still the main point in generating our lesson, right? We are still the director of our lesson. So right, thank you. And now I would like to I would like to ask Ibu Dian. If you want to ask question, you can unmute. Ibu Dian Budiargo, you may please ask your questions by unmuting your microphone.
Okay. Okay, so can you hear my voice?
Yes,
Yes.
Budia.
Okay. Hello, Prof. Eko.
How are
Miss
you?
Ivy. You're nice to meet you, even in online. It's very inspiring presentation from both of you. My question is maybe about the classic question about our ethic and so on. As we know that education and collaboration are very easily built with the presence of AI, perhaps only in terms of knowledge. Could I have a perception or your perception and understanding on how collaboration and education can be built from an ethical perspective? For example, for ethical perspective, and then for emotional, and then about the culture and contextual understanding, and then role modeling, because online learning or collaboration online, we never know about the other party. We just know about the word, about the face maybe, but we never know about who is he or who is them, gitu ya, who is there, who is he, who is she, we never know that. So I need your perception about this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Budian. Prof. Eko, please. And then
Yeah, actually, this question relate to the first question. What is the relation of the between people and machine? If you look into the definition of the Society 5.0, they say something like this. Is this the situation or the environment where people are working with machine to solve people's issues?
Yeah.
They call it people working together with machine, not people as machine to do it.
Yeah, I do agree with this.
Yeah, let me use bahasa Indonesia ya, Mbak ya. I always talk to my students that kita kita bekerja bersama AI, bukan kita menyuruh AI bekerja. Kita meneliti bersama AI, bukan menyuruh AI meneliti. That is my principle. Jadi, what is the best way to give the analogy between human and AI? Exactly, an Iron Man movies where Tony Stark working with the siapa namanya Jarvis. Tony Stark talk to Jarvis to produce something. If Tony Stark work alone, nothing happen because human have limitation. If machine use alone, using have no ethics, no humanity, no whatever. So Tony Stark talk to Jarvis to do something for the humanity. So that is the thing that we have to be careful. That the focus is human, not the machine. That is from our perspective.
Yeah,
Very
thank you, Pak.
insightful. All right, thank you, Prof. Eko. And Miss Ivy, do you have other opinions to address Ibu Dian?
Yeah, so In terms of the cultural or ethical influence of AI applications, I can really tell when I try to generate images or videos. It usually gives me a white person's face. Sometimes it gives me a black person. So they don't have enough data on Asian people. In that case, I would either upload my preferred picture with my ethnicity group as a reference, or I specifically say like Asian, or you specifically describe what kind of outfit, what kind of hair it has. And then, for example, like if there's an Indonesian startup doing AI app, then they usually have their database based on Indonesia. So the content that's generated is more suitable for your for your target audience. For me, I'm Chinese, so I sometimes use a Chinese app, and then I found the kind of visuals I want to have is usually tailored to my data source. So that's something that I don't need to spend a lot of time on tweaking it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Miss Ivy.
Budian.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make a joke with my wife. Kalau dia bilang, Papa tolong transferin dong. Saya bilang, minta aja sama AI.
Please translate in English because I feel that doesn't understand.
I make a joke with my wife. If my wife asks me to transfer the money, I said, why you ask me? You ask AI.
Prof Eko regards to Mbak Elsa ya.
Alright, thank you, Bu.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Budian. I hope the answers are satisfied. Yeah. So we would like to ask the committee for the next question. All right, this is addressed to Prof Eko from Pak Toha. Based on your experience as a student at many universities that implement learning and collaboration in a virtual learning environment, perhaps you have an insight of what collaborative model is more suitable for Indonesia, given its learning culture, and also if we refer to the models you mentioned earlier, Stanford Open University, University of the People, etc. Please, Prof. Eko.
Okay, thank you, Pak. These are very tough questions. Okay, let's start with the Open University. Open University, what they do is, for the LMS, it is not a self-paced module. So you have to take one module with 14 weeks, about 3 months, but this is all scheduled. Every week they make schedule, and every week they take grades. So if you don't do anything in 1 week, you will lose some kind of percentage of your grade. And they ask you to do the discussion, they ask you to do the papers, and project, usually you have to do it for the final one. But what is interesting in the University of the People is those 1 week is not starting from Monday to Sunday. It starts from Thursday to Wednesday. I'm wondering why they choose Wednesday to Thursday. Because they give students opportunity to do the collaboration on the weekends, which is Saturday and Sunday. You still remember the time zone things, right? Because if you do it from Monday to Sunday, you know Indonesian people ya Pak, last minute assignments, they do it, and it's already Saturday or already the last day. Maybe you are late turning on your assignment. The Stanford style means before you embark on the Stanford online communities, they will analyze your personality first. There is requirements that the person who are entering those environments is already quote unquote mature in doing the independent study. That's why they are doing more forums. It is a self-paced. You can graduate as soon as possible if you like, but your peers are also people who are used to do the independent learnings. So it's more tough. Yeah, Stanford is very tough. Stanford is self-paced, where the University of the People is a very schedule-based. Where are we? Many Indonesian people trying to use the University of the People. I don't know what is the percentage of the mortality rate, yeah. But I heard that that none of them are finishing until getting the master degree, even one course, yeah. Why? Because every day you have to open your LMS like you open your Facebook. You don't open your Facebook, you don't open your Instagram, but you open your LMS because you have to see the discussion, you have to reply for the discussion, you have to create the thread discussion. And frankly, Pak Toha, I can only manage 2 courses per trimester. More than 2 courses, I have to leave my job. That is University of the People. So for Indonesia, but if you are more loose, like George Washington University or other MOOC, yeah, self-paced, maybe that is appropriate for Indonesia. But what happened is they never finish. You look into the EDX, you look into the Coursera thing, yeah, you never finish. So if I would like to make a choice, I will combine the Coursera model with the University of the People. Indonesian students are used to the academic years, the semesters, correct? And we are used to the model of the final exam and midterm exam. But this time, the midterm exam is the start of the journey of the collaboration project. And the final exams are the final deliverable of the projects. That's what I prefer. From week 1 to week 6 is all about the content, the materials. From week 7 to the end of the week is all collaborative. Let them do it freely. Let them create their own schedule. As long as the deliverables, the objective was done by the week of 14. So let's make an Indonesian model like that.
Thank you, Prof. Eko. Wow, so it's a combination of Coursera and University of the People it is. All right, so Pak Toha, I hope it's answer your questions.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's why you know the capstone project, right?
Yeah.
The capstone project is just the examples of doing that. But the capstone project starting from week 7 to week 14.
All right, great. Thank you, Prof. Eko, for insightful answers. Next, we would like to ask for the next question. All right, so this is addressed to Miss Ivy from Muhajirin. The question is, utilization of artificial intelligence in creating social media content for regional governments. So I think it's the examples of utilization. Do you have any insights, Miss Ivy? Thank you.
Yes, thanks for the questions. For social media content, there are 2 sides. One is images, the other is videos. So for videos, I recommended using Lumen 5. If you have a script, it can automatically generate voiceover plus different scenes, different clips to match your script. And it's not expensive as well. I use it quite a lot. Another one is I use HeyGen for a digital avatar. So if you have a spokesperson, can upload 2 minutes of this person speaking, and then it speaks perfectly with the same tone, same voice, of course, with that person's consent. If you have like an avatar, like a cartoon to present, then use that as well. In terms of restrictions, I would say it depends on the government. So some governments requires transparency and labeling, whether it's an AI video. And then second one is the ethical or bias safeguards. If the AI is used maybe doesn't have Muslim culture or the majority of white people from their data source, then the content it generates might have some bias or even discrimination. So it's quite important for the person to check how culturally appropriate the content is. And then the privacy concerns, if it's for social media content, I assume the data you'll feed is already public. But then I think it needs double check whether it violates any data. I know governments are more sensitive to data, and so I don't see any restrictions on using AI, but I think if you plan to do so, you should outline what you plan to use it for, how you're going to use it, and have that approved with your management before you start using it in social media. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Miss Ivy. So planning is important, yeah, to plan how our content will be in social media and also integrating with AI. Thank you, Miss Ivy. I hope it is satisfying the person who asked the questions. And then next, do we have?
Sorry, I'm gonna switch to the mobile version because I need to head to another meeting.
All right. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Next question, please. All right. So this is addressed to Prof. Eko from Fahri. In an era of global crisis and digital inequality, how can we design virtual collaboration strategies that are not only effective but also equitable and inclusive, especially for under-resourced institutions? Thank you. Please, Prof. Eko.
Okay, the most challenge actually in the virtual collaboration is an infrastructure, right? And when we talk about the infrastructure, we are talking about the bandwidth, about the accessibility, etc. So what I have done in the remote area, seperti daerah 3T, ya, we don't rely on the internet, but rather we create what we call as the what do you call it? The isolated network. Yeah. So for examples like this. If you want to have a learning management system, or you want to have the smart book with them all multimedia, and then you have to access to the internet, you will have problems because of the bandwidth, because of the cost, and also because of the accessibility. So what I do with my other friend is we create small computers where inside are the hard disks full of the application on all of the contents needed for learning. So those computers have a wireless and Bluetooth, correct? So if I bring this wireless to the remote area by using your handphone only or by using your notebook only, as long as you have Bluetooth or wireless, you can connect it to these computers offline, not through the internet or online. Okay? That will save everything, and I have tried in the daerah 3T. It works well. And it's good for the students because they are safe. They don't have access to the dangerous sites or the dangerous website because they can only access to the box to the computer that inside are just for the learning. Yeah, seems like Bu Emi, for example. Bu Emi, you have the headphones, correct? Inside the headphones, you have a SD card or the a micro card.
Yes.
Can you imagine if in your micro card I install 1,000 books?
Wow.
So you don't need to have internet, right? You just open your 1,000 books and you can learn from that. That's an offline. It's like we put everything in one flash disk. Of course, there is limitation. You cannot access more than this. But if you are a good instructional designer, you put everything in one flash disk, for example. I have a dream, Ami. What is my dream? That I have one device where the student from the primary school to the high school, everything is in one device. And the device not necessarily should be connected to the internet. Because all they need based on the instructional design is already in this laptop. And this laptop can just communicate with other laptop in the isolated physical environment. You can start from that one. Or you can work with my uncle, which is Pak Ono Purbo, to try to find the bandwidth in the affordable and cheap ways. So I share you this idea because I have done it to several remote area in Indonesia. If you are interested, you can call me. Just give me my number, Bu Ami, kasih aja.
All right, Prof. Eko. Nice, very insightful, and also it's a inspiration, full of inspiration because you have done also some research in that remote area. Thank you, Prof. Eko, for your answer. Next, we still have some questions. This is also addressed to Prof. Eko from Irwan Halid. The conditions of private universities vary across different regions. Do you think that virtual learning can truly guarantee the quality of our students?
Yes, only if this virtual learning is designed by the instructional designer. Because most of the people who design it is not an instructional designer. They are subject matter expert. You know, in the area of the pedagogy, to come out with a good quality courses, several stakeholders have to work together. The instructional designer, the subject matter experts, the multimedia expert, the language expert, right? They have to join together, and also the pedagogy expert, they have to join together to create a well-defined courses because every student have the different characteristics. The problem is Indonesia, who make the courses is the lecturers, correct? So subject matter expert. Not every subject matter expert have the competency to become an instructional designer. That's why I can say yes if the courses are designed properly.
Well, yes, I think I agree with you. Yeah, it should be instructional designers who design, and also so that it can be implemented by the subject matter experts. Thank you, Prof. Eko. And unfortunately, it was the last questions for this session. So I would like to thank you to all participants for your thoughtful questions, and once again, our sincere thanks to both speakers for their insightful answers. Ladies and gentlemen, please be informed that in order to receive the certificate, you are required to complete the feedback form, and the committee will share the link with you shortly. All right. And now, as the token of appreciation for their valuable contributions today, we would like to present digital certificates and appreciation from ICE Institute to our distinguished speakers. May I invite Ibu Dr. Vivi Indra Amelia as the ICE representative to award the certificate to the speakers.
Okay. Thank you, Ami. First to Miss IVC. Thank you for your sharing today. And it is please kindly accept our token of appreciation and also certificate. And we send virtually. And participant, please give our gratitude and applause.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next to Prof. Eko. Prof. Eko, mohon kesediaan Bapak menerima sertifikat sebagai token of appreciation kami. Mungkin kalau tadi joknya Bapak tanya AI, kalau kami kirimnya by virtual ya Pak. Baik. Terima
Bu.
Gimana?
Secara engagement di kolaboratif ada caranya untuk memastikan yang ibu berikan ke saya sudah saya terima dengan baik.
Oke.
Tahu caranya, Bu?
Gimana, Prof?
Coba kita lihat sebentar lagi inilah cara yang Bapak Ibu sekarang sertifikatnya
Ayo kita lihat.
sudah saya terima dengan baik. Kelihatan di mana?
Baik.
Lihat background saya, Bu.
Oke.
Nah, itu artinya ini sudah saya terima karena udah ada di background.
Oke. Great Prof. Eko. Nice ya. Oke, thank you so much Prof. Eko and Miss IPC. Okay, I'll pass the screen back to Ami.
Yes, thank you, Ibu Vivi, also Miss IVC, and also Prof. Eko. And as we come to the end of the 34th Cyber Education Forum, I would like to thank all of you, our speakers, guests, and participants for your active engagement and valuable time. This session has reminded us of the importance of how collaborative learning in virtual landscape, and also I hope it has sparked new ideas and inspiration for your own learning design practices. I'm Ami Hibatul Jamil, your moderator for today's session. I sincerely apologize for any shortcomings, and it has truly been a pleasure to guide today's webinar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm signing off and see you all at the next Cyber Education Forum.